Thank you for finally inviting me back.
Oh, stop it.
I really appreciate it. I've been waiting 13 years. The last thing you said to me is, I'll see you in 13 years. And you are a man of your word.
Now, is there a deal
13
here?
years?
13 silly years?
What happened?
I don't know.
What happened? Every time I came into town, they'd say, no, Dave is on vacation.
Right.
He's on vacation. I'd be in my hotel room. I click on, there's Dave on television.
Right, yeah.
I started with my feelings were
And then you come to town, no, Dave's had heart surgery.
No, Dave's had heart surgery. Didn't do anything.
One phony excuse after another.
One thing after the other. We have the same accountant, Fred.
Oh, yikes. That's right, Fred Nigro. Is he handling your money?
Yeah, Fred.
Are you satisfied with how Fred's handling your money?
Very satisfied. You notice that he bought that house in Bermuda and the place in Switzerland. And
What? You've been on Oprah, haven't you? I would like to be on Oprah just once before I'm done in show business. I've been in show business 20 years.
I
and
think
I've never
you
been
will
on
be on Oprah before it's
Really?
all said
Have you
and
heard
done.
something? How was your?
Have you called Oprah? Have you asked her?
No, I don't. I don't want to. You know, that's her. I don't want to cross that line. I want to be a gentleman about this because I'm begging as it is. You know? But I still have my pride. Explain to me why we have this photo here. You were talking about it during the break.
I just saw it there behind. I haven't seen that shot.
Yeah, but why? You're in there, right?
Yeah.
It's you, it's Penelope Cruz, and it's Siegfried and Roy. Do I? And is this, you obviously went to see them in Las Vegas?
We decided we went in for about 15 hours and went into Vegas, a bunch of friends.
What is their show like when you see it?
You know, I produce Mission Impossible movies, do all that. I don't know how they make those animals disappear.
Really?
You sit there, it's pure Vegas and entertainment. We had a blast. And Penelope loves cats, and it was really a lot of fun.
But now, maybe you can answer this.
I'm telling you, you sit there, there's an elephant's there, then it's gone. You think, you know.
Is it the original Siegfried and Roy, or did they replace one or the other of them? Is it?
You know, this is my first time seeing the show. I haven't followed their careers.
And because of your friendship with Penelope Cruz, right?
Yeah.
You're speaking Spanish, a little bit of Spanish.
A little bit of Spanish. We're working on that.
And is she giving you lessons? You have a tutor?
No, she's been giving me. I've been studying some tapes, and you know.
Are you?
Buenos dias. Oh. ¿Dónde está Penelope?
You know.
Cruz, and it's not Cruz. They pronounce it Cruz, Castilian. Cruz. You speak Spanish?
Yeah. This is Tony Mendez is Cuban, and he speaks. Can you talk
Castilian
to him?
Spanish? Because I only understand Castilian.
No, yo hablo español cubano.
Cubano.
Sí.
Cubano.
¿Usted entiende bien?
Okay.
Tony, don't screw this up now. Just talk to the guy.
Sí, sí, sí.
¿Usted entiende bien el español? ¿Entiende? Óyeme lo que te voy a decir, mamarracho.
Wait a minute.
Conmigo aquí. No te lo aguanto. No te lo aguanto.
Good Lord. What did you say to him?
I don't know. I only understand Castilian.
Well, that was a moment of ugliness, wasn't it?
Wow.
You've done something to your teeth.
Yeah, I've had some braces. You know, anyone have braces before? You know, so
Yeah, but what was the problem?
got some braces out there. I couldn't close my mouth properly for years, so they finally said, you know, please shut your mouth, and so I.
What was the nature of it? It was a bite problem?
Bite problem.
Well, you know, the last time I saw you, not that I was paying much attention, but I would have guessed you had nearly perfect teeth.
Is that right? Yeah. Well, you know, I just couldn't close my mouth, so.
And so you went to a guy, and what did the guy do?
I was I was doing kind of research on different things for our kids and everything, and he said, he ended up, I left the dentist's office with braces, and of course they're fine.
And you're absolutely sure you need them?
Yeah, you know. That's good. And he convinced me. I thought, well, okay, he's a good salesman.
And when do they come off?
October, before I start shooting again.
How long have you had them on?
Since I think since I last saw you,
Yeah.
you know, January, December.
And
now, have you ever had braces? Have you ever had
come on, you got to be kidding. What are you? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've had braces.
Give me that guy's number.
But now I'm wondering, and they don't hurt or nothing?
No, it's no problem.
And when you're done,
So when everyone complains about braces and everything, you know, it doesn't hurt.
So maybe I should have it done.
Yeah, maybe, you know, it's quick. It's quick. You know, I'm going to have it on until October. You should get it. You should look into it.
All right, I will look into it. And you believe when you're finished, everything will be fine.
That's what I believe, yes.
Now, as a guy who's like a big star and makes movies and stuff and has to look fantastic, have you ever had like your teeth knocked out or something?
Oh, yeah. Actually, you know, the only time I got injured, I dislocated my finger on Mission 2. But my real injury...
Wait a minute, how did you do that?
Well, I was, do you want to hear about the teeth or the...
Well, I'm intrigued about, you dislocated a finger, what was...
Well, I was doing a stunt, and I had to jump down about 10 feet or something, grab this bar, and I missed the bar, and my finger snapped back.
I see,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. But actually, I was playing Ogre with my son and his friend, and you know Ogre, where you chase a guy, you know, and say, I'm going to eat you, you know, and then you grab one of them, and then they turn into Ogre and they start chasing you around. Well, he was turned around to chase me, and I went up this slide, and there was a steel bar across there, and I was running from him like this, and I knocked my teeth out. Ouch, yeah. That's happened to me a few times.
Actually knocked him out. How many came out?
Half of the front, this front one came all the way out, and half of the other one, and chipped this lower tooth.
Oh,
but I chipped
God.
this a couple of times before.
Yeah.
I mean, I've knocked this out about 5 times.
Is this a deal where there's like blood and
Yeah,
kids
there's
helping
blood.
find
You
the
know,
teeth
pick your tooth up.
Yeah.
And, you know, you don't want to scare the kids or anything, so you're saying, it's okay. You know, don't worry, I'm fine. Come on. We're gonna.
So you go to the guy, and what does he do? He plugs them back in?
No, he had to, you know, kind of, I don't know, just mix something up and stick it in there because I had to shoot the next day. And I didn't mention it to anyone because they would freak out if I got my teeth knocked out and we had to shoot.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. I never even considered
What they could do with teeth now, I'm telling you. You should look into it.
Maybe I'll make a call. Tell me a little bit about your airplane flying activities. What kind of things you do? Do you ever just fly for fun, or are you just constantly trying to increase hours, or what do you do?
All of that. I mean, all that. I do mostly training every time I fly.
Right.
I actually got my instrument rating. Well, I was over in Italy, and I did my. It's always interesting when you get your instrument rating. And my instructor was standing on the side, and I was at Luca, and 0, 0. Do you all know what 0, 0?
No.
It means 0, 0. It's just no visibility.
Oh, you
There's
can't
a low-level
see anything.
fog,
I see.
so I took off. My first solo instrument flight was in 0, 0 conditions.
What kind of
I took off
airplane?
out of there. It was a Marchetti. Terrific. It's a military trainer.
Really?
A little military trainer.
And so you go up, and it's just soup. You can't see a
It's
thing.
beautiful. Well, actually, yeah, that was soup. That was low-level fog. You got to really stay on your instruments.
Yeah.
Then you take off out, and you're fine. But he was terrified, thinking that I was taking off my first instrument 0.
Well, yeah, I'm terrified just hearing about it now.
It's very safe, though.
And what's like the biggest plane you could fly?
I could fly King Airs. I've landed G4 before.
Is that right?
Yeah. In Australia, I landed G4.
Well, that's pretty good.
Gulfstream, you know. I enjoy mostly aerobatic flight. That's what I enjoy the most.
That's the stuff where the thing actually goes up and it stalls and tumbles
you can go
and
and
spins.
tumble and spin and do all that.
And how do you keep from being disoriented when you're doing that?
Well, you just, you don't, you know, you got to get used to it. You get used to it, you get used to it.
Is that right?
The first couple of times I went up, I really had to build up my G tolerance because you fly for about 45 minutes, you're exhausted and you want to throw up, and so you got to stop. And
Have you ever blacked out in the cockpit when riding in one of those with somebody?
No. Could you imagine? Just even meant that my insurance would go through the roof if I said.
But I don't mean as the pilot.
No, I've actually, when I was doing Top Gun, I blacked out. I mean, because you're pulling, we pulled about 8.5 Gs, and I was actually, at that time, I was leaning over into a bag throwing up. It was my first flight when I did Top Gun, and it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, but that's what those guys like to do. They like to get you in that plane and take you up and see how long it is before you're going for the bag, and then they like to see you nodding off.
This pilot, his name was Bozo, and I bent down.
Aha!
His name was Bozo. So I bent down. So I had to do 3 flights in one day. So I bent down. I had the plastic bag at the end, and it came up. We were doing pretty heavy air combat maneuvers. So I bent over to throw up in his bag quickly as I could to get it over with, because we were filming. And at that time, when I bent over, he did, pitched up, high G. So my helmet was touching the floor as I got the bag in here, and I'm trying to press on the thing to say, Bozo, Bozo! You know? He almost killed me back there. He said, well, they don't call me Bozo for nothing. I said,
Has anything like that ever happened to you? Have you ever been woozy at altitude?
No, but I fly. I'm a pilot, and I was one time we were flying to Colorado, and I was flying this airplane that we had to go on oxygen, and winds were better at a higher altitude, so we climbed up, and I realized that we couldn't stay at that altitude if on oxygen. I had to descend because I didn't have enough oxygen. So I had a passenger in the back, so we figured out, me and the co-pilot, that if we turned the oxygen off in the back guy, that we could make it at this altitude. So it wasn't dangerous or anything,
So what happened when you turned his oxygen off?
He was very quiet. He fell asleep. He fell asleep. He slept the whole way.
Well, but
he's the kind of guy you wanted to have him sleep the whole way. It's like just.
But honestly, looking at it from another direction, isn't that attempted manslaughter? You just turn a guy's oxygen off? You're lucky you're not doing time, for the love of God.
He woke up.
He did wake up, yeah.
When we were landing on descent, he. He said, my hands are. He said, my hands. My hands are your old hands. He said, my hands are tingling. I slept the whole way. He said, must have been the way I was laying there. I said, yeah, must have been the way.
Oh, my God. Wasn't getting enough oxygen to his brain. Oh, my God.
I know.
Well, it's
God.
funny now.
It's funny now.
Yow.
No, it wasn't such a high altitude that it would have,
Sure, that's
caused death or anything.
just the occasional numbness of extremities.
Oh, do you have a Kleenex? My eyes
we'll
are
get
black.
you. The thing there. Good for you, but if I didn't know, I wouldn't know. This is you. How old are you here?
I was 16.
16 years old?
Yeah, I knocked my tooth out. Actually, chipped my tooth in this wrestling match.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you you've won this match.
Yeah,
Were you a good wrestler?
I was okay.
Yeah.
I was okay.
Wrestling is, did you like wrestling?
I don't know if it's something you really like. It's challenging. It's brutal.
Really is challenging.
Yeah.
It's just awful.
Challenging sport.
Yeah, and what little of it I did in high school, there's always a guy sitting on your head.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Get him off.
Exactly.
Not pleasant at all. Now here's a great picture. This is just fantastic. Look at that. This is you, Paul Newman, and this is Days of Thunder era, kind of? Is that when that was taken?
Yes, a little before
mid-80s
that.
or something like
yeah,
that?
I raced for his team, and he taught me how to race cars. I think so that he could beat me. He did things like that. Encourage you so that he could beat you.
He was a A great ambassador for many things, acting,
Great
of
man.
course, and racing. Never a greater fan and a supporter of the sport of racing, and quite a good race driver himself. What a tremendous
humanitarian.
Yeah,
Great
tremendous role model, and very quiet, and just the way people are supposed to be.
I know.
Yeah. You
Great man.
guys must have gotten along great. I would
Yeah, I
think.
loved him.
Okay, this one is.
Santa.
There you go.
Me last Christmas. It kind of looks like you, Dave. I was
Yeah.
looking at that a little bit. Just in the eyes right there, the glasses.
How?
You could see Suri is not quite sure about this. You know, when we did it, I showed up, and Kate actually made the outfit for me, and I crawled through ice and snow, almost killed myself getting through the door. You could see Kate, and Suri's looking at me like, "No, Dada, no," you know.
How often does Katie want you to put on the Santa suit and towel? I see, Tom, you have here, looks like something I ought to be doing. This is a top 10 list. Is that yours?
Yeah,
or is
no,
that
I've always wanted to do this.
All right.
They
What do you
said I
have?
could do this.
Yeah, I hope you do.
All right,
What
this
is
is something, you know, there's many things, you know. I have done a lot of things in my life, and definitely this is on the bucket list.
Okay.
So.
Why? What's wrong? What's
Oh
going
no,
on? Are you
no,
all right?
No. You never know.
Yeah, that's true. You never
know?
do know. What's the category? Now, do you know the format you just announced? Oh, first you got to open the thing.
Excuse me, I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay, tonight's
I'll go out and get a
top
sandwich.
10 list.
Yeah, fine. Here we go.
Okay.
Category.
No, let me start. No, from the home office in Wahoo, Nebraska, tonight's top 10. Okay. The topic is the craziest things people say about Tom Cruise on the internet.
Oh, that's a good category. Okay. That's perfect. Because they have this thing called the internet.
Yeah.
And people have what they call blogs. And they can say anything they want.
You might have heard about this.
Craziest things they say about.
Okay, number 10. I sleep upside down, suspended in a special bat-like harness.
I've heard that.
Number 9. During the filming of Days of Thunder on a dare, I ate a tire. Number 8. I still wear those underpants from Risky Business.
Yeah! Yeah!
Number 7. My real name is Tom Blagojevich.
Yeah, that's right.
Number 6, what's this? You can't read that.
Heimlich.
Yes, I once Heimlicked a koala. Number 5, once a month I take the Universal Tour naked. Number 4, I believe all emotional and psychological disorders can be cured with Vicks Vapor Rub.
There you go.
Okay, number 3. I'm a power-mad egomaniac who's completely insulated from reality. Oh, wait, that's Letterman. Number 2. After jumping on her couch, Oprah hammerlocked me till I coughed blood.
Ouch. Really? Hammerlock you. That's
All right.
awful.
And the number 1 craziest thing people say about me on the internet is, number 1, I keep a cell phone in my pants so I can tell friends, call my ass.
If you can count backward, you can get a show.
That last one,
Yeah, call my ass.
that last one was true.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Oh, that one's true. You want to run down some of these? Do you mind?
Whatever you want.
Days of Thunder. Speaking of stuff that must have been fun. Oh, by the way, we got another picture here. Oh my golly, look at there. There's your driving the Red Bull Formula One car.
That was amazing.
Yes.
That was really fun.
That was very fun. How did you get to do that?
I don't know. I don't know how they called me up and invited me to come drive it and fly in their helicopter. I've always wanted to fly in the helicopter. It was amazing. I had David Coulthard trained me. He's an amazing driver and
Formula One driver from Scotland.
From Scotland, awesome. And they just let me do some laps in that and took me through some training, and it was amazing. Most amazing piece of machinery I've ever driven.
You get more interesting calls than I get.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, you have a team. I was always wondering, why don't they let you drive the car that you have?
I get the kind of calls, hey, when are you going to return the lawnmower?
Yes.
Anyway, Days of Thunder, that was about NASCAR racing. That must have been fun,
That was
right?
amazing.
I mean, I remember there's a shot when you just show up in the movie on your motorcycle riding through the pits, and I thought, right there, that would be fun.
Yeah, right there, that was cool.
Tell me, and I think you've talked about this before, but your relationship with Paul Newman, he kind of helped you into competitive car driving,
Yes,
didn't he?
I raced for his team, and he was amazing. I always wanted to beat him on the racetrack and beat him in pool.
Was he a better driver or a better pool player?
You know, he was a hustler, Newman. He always played everything down. Everything was like, oh, let's play some pool. You know, I haven't played in a while. My elbow's hurting. And then, you know, you get the beers out and the stories start going, and the next thing you know, I'm getting creamed.
Yeah.
And it was the same on the racetrack. I remember we were on a track racing together, and I thought I passed him on the inside and went down, and I thought, this is it. He's going to have to concede finally. And he just ripped past me on the runway and gave me the finger as he crossed the finish line. That's Newman.
Interview with the Vampire. Brad, you were with Brad Pitt. How'd that go?
Yeah, well.
Are you buddies with Brad Pitt?
Yeah, he's a talented, terrific guy.
Don't you think he must be miserable at home? Have you had the talk with your son about girls? Of course, he's 17, for God's sakes.
He's like, please don't talk about me.
Oh, he doesn't like you talking about him at all?
He's like, please, like a little bit, but certain things, then his friends go, what was that talk like?
Okay.
You know,
okay.
what were the details like?
Okay.
I mean, what's Harry like? Do his friends like say, hey, your dad was talking about you?
It's interesting because it's getting to the age now where his friends, his buddies, are under the impression that Harry's father, me, is Ed Sullivan. So you see?
Yeah. Yeah, all the kids are like, look, Dad, we love you, but like, don't say that stuff.
Right, okay.
You know, certain things, like
Okay.
maybe that conversation.
Okay,
that
here's
we had.
what we'll do. Let's just say you have a buddy,
Yeah, let's do that.
and your buddy has a teenage son.
Yeah, absolutely.
And long time now been interested in girls. How do you break the? What do you tell your friend to tell your
what would
friend's
you
son?
say hypothetically?
Well, I think I've.
Did you have that conversation
I see.
already?
I think I'm late. I think I already should have had it. But the people at school say, no, fourth grade, but I think I'm behind the curve. I think it should have been this year for sure or last year even.
Is he talking to you about it, or is he?
Well, you know, it's interesting. We had a conversation about dirty words.
Yeah.
And I said, Harry, do you know dirty words? And he says, well, I know the S word. And he says, I know the B word, and I know the F word. And so you hang on, and you think, okay, what is the S word? And he said, stupid.
Yeah.
And
That's good.
I said, and what about the B word? And he said, bad. And I said, and the F word? And he said, good night, everybody.